guys, so today's video is going to be a tutorial on this cozy, warm, matte, fall, but sort of Thanksgiving. It's not sort of, it's meant for Thanksgiving. This is a Thanksgiving tutorial. I told you guys in my last Thanksgiving tutorial I had a little bit more of a chill makeup look coming for Thanksgiving, and perhaps this is not chill to you, but for me, this is pretty chill. We got a lot of matte, a lot of warm mustard tones, a nice cranberry lip, which you obviously can omit if you don't like a bold lip, but I do, so this is definitely what I would wear. Before we get started, make sure you are subscribed if you are not. My name is Whitney. I love makeup and I love talking to you guys about makeup. Make sure you come hang out with me on Instagram stories as well. I am always very active on Instagram stories. I hope you guys had tons and tons of things to be thankful for this year, and I just want you to know, despite all the very tumultuous things I went through this past calendar year, I still have so many things that I'm thankful for and so many things to continue to be thankful for, and I want you to know that you guys are definitely one of the things I'm extremely grateful for. So without any further ado, let's just get started, and happy Thanksgiving. Here we are getting ready to do the eye look, basically like the actual thing you're probably here to see. In my last video, I made a comment to you guys asking whether or not every single time I do a makeup look, do you guys care to see the entire complexion routine? Because no matter how hard I try, and I just found this out with my last video, even if all I do is the eyes and like cheeks and lips, I'll still take up 20 minutes of a video doing it. So throw in the complexion, like my videos are too long. So I don't know if you guys want to hang out with me more, hang out with me less when I actually show up to do a makeup look. You'll have to know which one you prefer that I do. I would just like to take this time to say that I am so sleep deprived right now. Like, I am exhausted, so tired. So hopefully I am not just a hot mess during this whole video. Like, I don't know if you guys have dogs. We have 4 dogs. They're all boxers, which are like not huge dogs, but they're sizable. They're not little at all. We sleep, my husband and I sleep with my 2 biggest ones, Lily and Herman, and we've been doing that since we got them. Like, my husband from the very beginning of our relationship was like, if we get dogs, they have to sleep with us. We don't sleep with all 4 because there's no way they will all fit. But anyway, lately, like, I haven't been getting the most high quality of sleep anyway, but like my dogs are making it so hard to sleep. Like, kick me, they lay on me, they do that thing in their sleep where they're like chasing rabbits in their dreams and like shaking, and like, I love them so much, but I know if it came down to it and I told my husband like, it's me or the dogs, I need sleep, he'd be like, get your ass to the couch. Like, that's just the way he is. I don't know why I just told you guys all that. Let's get started. So this is probably going up pretty close to the wire for Thanksgiving. Obviously this is not just a Thanksgiving look, you can wear this anytime. Today we're gonna be working out of this palette. It's a Morphe palette. I don't know what it's called. I know this was the holiday palette last year. They just brought it back, so I picked it up recently. My eyes are already primed. I'm actually gonna apply just a little bit more primer and then actually run some underneath my lash line as well. I'm gonna go ahead and apply a lip balm. I'm using the Aquaphor lip balm. It's really the only lip balm I use. I have tubes of this all over my house, in my car, in my purses, in my gym bag. I've recently gotten obsessive about buying them for my daughter. I'm like, here, just put these somewhere where you can find them if you need them. She's like, okay, thanks. Okay, so I wore this look. Actually, hold on. Let me put some loose translucent powder underneath my eyes really quick. I'm gonna use the Huda Booty, which I might come to regret because it's gonna lighten up my foundation slash concealer a lot. I feel like it always looks so funny when I do this on camera because I take so much powder on the side of my nose, but to me, if I make the sides of my nose lighter, I don't have to darken the center of it as much. Does that make sense? Because by contrast, the little bit of contour I do use on my nose will look a little bit more rich. Okay, I did this look in a recent video. I think it was the Huda Beauty concealer review. I'll link it up here somewhere. I got a lot of questions about it, and I knew when I put it on, I was like, this would be so cute for Thanksgiving. Oh, I love it. So I'm gonna recreate it for you today. I am like basically powered by caffeine right now. So if I'm the most annoying person you have come in contact with today, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be working out of this center row right here. These are a lot of like caramel, but kind of yellow toned colors. Anything you have in that family will work. Morphe has tons of palettes that have this same kind of color scheme going on. It's not an uncommon color palette to come across, so if you don't have this palette, don't worry, you can still create it. I'm gonna go in with the second color, which is a little bit of a mid-tone kind of warm brown, and mix it with the middle color, kind of like a creamsicle kind of shade. So I'm just gonna take this on a fluffy brush and apply it on my lid, inner corner to outer corner. I'm trying to get so much better about sitting up when I do makeup tutorials, because I don't know if you guys can tell when I do them, I'm actually starting to have like problems with this. I like hunch over so hard, and lately I've been getting like tension headaches in the back of my head from this. So like, this is difficult because I need a mirror like in my face when I do my makeup. So for me to have to sit back here and do it, it's not good times. So now that we have this laid down, I'm gonna go ahead and take a slightly smaller brush. You guys know I kind of have like a method to my madness. If you've never seen any of my eyeshadow videos, they are so old school, but they're still very informative. I always transition from big brush to smaller brush, lightest color, next light color, darkest color. Like the brushes get smaller the darker my colors get. If you're new here, that's kind of the story with that. I take a smaller brush and a slightly darker color. I'm actually gonna go in with the third color in the palette. It's just a little bit more warm and deep, and I'm just going to deepen up that transition. So even though this makeup look is gonna be a little bit smoky, it's supposed to be more like cozy fall vibes than it is supposed to be like a full-blown like glamazon moment. So use your own discretion as to how deep, how many colors, how smoky, how far you want to wing it. For me, that's always a fine line to be walked because I'm filming this for a video, so I automatically kind of have to do a little bit more just so like you can see it on camera. Okay, now that I have that going, we're moving quick today, so I hope that's all right. A little bit more pointy of a brush. I'm gonna go in with that true kind of gross diarrhea brown shade, and I'm just gonna kind of layer it on top of what I already did. I don't want to put too much of that in the look because it'll kind of take away from the shade I'm going for. And one thing I will also do frequently in this look is go back with the first brush I started with that still has like that cream sickle kind of combination on it, just to make sure we don't lose that in the process. Now is the time, if you're going to do your lower lash line, that you can go ahead and start that process. I would do kind of a mixture of some of the more orange tones that we've worked with. And you just want to start running it underneath the eye to connect everything together. We will have color under our eyes today. It's not gonna be as intense as our last smoky eye that we did was. And by we, I mean you and I together on this YouTube journey. And honestly, like, I know I always and forever am going and doing all of the things with my lower lash line, but that's just because I have smaller eyes, and I just like, it's okay to have smaller eyes, it's not a problem. But I've always, and even like on any given person, the thing about anyone's face that like I'm just like so jealous of is people with like really big open eyes. Like, I wish I had those so much. I have good things too. I have my own thing going on, but it's just that one feature that I don't have, and like I can't ever do anything about it. Anyway, I'm going to take a little bit of the last color in the palette and start really focusing this just on the outer corner. We're just gonna start patting this on the inner part of the lid right here in the corner. You don't want to take it all the way in. This look is actually really easy. Like, it's really simple, really pretty, very seasonally appropriate, and yet like you don't have to be crazy precise about it until the very end. I'm gonna take the second color in the palette, and you could actually leave this blank. You don't have to do anything for it, but I just kind of like the way it looks to have kind of a uniform sort of color story on the eye. This will look a little bit brighter when we go in to apply the outer corner. Like right now it looks like it's just kind of blending in with everything else, but it won't once I start that outer corner action. I'm going to take the second color from the top row in the palette, start working this in the outer corner a little bit, like so. You really don't want to take this in far at all. You're just kind of doing like this motion right here. Do you guys have any very special plans for Thanksgiving this year or the holidays in general? I would love to know. We actually have like such a fun holiday season planned this year. I feel like the past 2 years we have had, no, past 3 or 4 years, we have been so good about making time for holiday funtivities. I just feel like until about 2015, I was not in a place in my life where the holidays were like the way they look on the Hallmark Channel, for example. I'm actually considering doing a whole video about this subject because I know it's something that like when I wasn't having easy times in my life, that I needed to know, because when all of this holiday stuff is happening, it is so easy to feel like you're the only one who's like alone or depressed or has family issues. Like my family is very, very dysfunctional. I don't even just mean my immediate family, like my extended family. There's a lot of dysfunction. There has been for as long as I can remember. So I was never one of those people who was like, holidays, like so much fun. Like I really had to make my own traditions and my own fun. And then a lot of times I would just work. I would be like, nope, I'm gonna work. I don't, you know, we don't have time for this. But past 3-4 years, we have really carved out a nice little tradition for ourselves and everything that we do. We've, especially when we moved back to the East Coast and it was a lot easier to be around friends and family again, things are just gotten so much better. Because I truly just used to be like, I need the holidays to be over. Everything is taking way too long. Like everything is so much more difficult and like I just want to get back to normal life. But now whenever January 1st gets here, I'm just like so bummed that it's finally, you know, it's gone. It comes and goes so quick now. Really wanted to talk about this today, especially for people out there who do not have big, happy, you know, white picket fence families. I don't at all. I had a very hard childhood, a very hard life for a long time. I just want you to know that it does get better. And I'm thinking about making a video about like the most epic Christmas self-care day. Let me know if you guys want to hear it or want me to do a video on it, because I just think that like, you know, the depression rate, suicide rates, all that stuff is so much higher around the holidays. And it's because people feel alone and lonely and left out. If you're someone who feels that way, like once again, you're not alone. And I'm trying to figure out ways to like give you guys content that can really pull you out of that if you feel like you're really getting deep and down into that. I have touched on this a little bit on my channel. I've talked about it on Instagram for sure. But as I've said a million times recently, I just got out of a very intensely dark 12 to 18 month depression. I'm still in therapy, you know, trying to work through it. There's still a lot of things that I have a hard time with, and I just have such a heart for people who are going through it too. And it doesn't take a break during the holidays. I'm not trying to make this a depressing video. I'm really sorry. This is a blank brush. I'm just running this underneath my lash line to kind of clean it up and just make sure the shape is the way I want it to be. It's a little more pointy than I was going for, so I'm just gonna kind of soften that edge up just a little bit. And once again, go in with that darkest color in the palette just to kind of, I want this just to be a little bit rounded in the corner. So I'm not gonna go up with it. I'm just gonna once again pack little circles in it to kind of hug that outer corner. Then taking a flat shader brush, I'm just going to start pushing a little bit of that dark brown color underneath the outer lash line, just keeping it on the outer part of my eye. This eye wants to start watering. I have to leave it alone for a little while. Normally I would go ahead and do my lashes and all that stuff, but if I keep touching it, it's only gonna get worse, so I'm gonna have to wait before I move on to lashes. So off camera, I had already done pretty much everything. Foundation, concealer, bronzer, contour, and I haven't done like cheeks and all that stuff yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I know I said I was gonna leave my eye alone, but I am gonna put a little bit of Coconut Grove in the outer corner because it just always does what I need it to do. This is exactly what I was going for. I'm gonna do like a blush blush cocktail, I'm going to take the Urban Decay Naked Cherry blush, this one right here in the center, which I used in a video not too long ago, and I've really been using it quite a lot off camera. I'm going to clean up that blush because I feel like I just dragged it like all over my face. I'm gonna dust this off like pretty much immediately because I don't like to leave the Huda baking powder here for very long. Like, look how much it lightened it up, dude. That's nuts. So I'm going to do things in kind of a different order than I normally do. What I usually do is I do kind of all of my complexion stuff and then I apply my kind of buffing powder, but I'm going to do that first at this point while I have all these matte products on before I add any illuminating ones. So I'm going to take the top row. I'm going to try to be mindful of not using too much of this because this is an actual full-blown highlighting powder as opposed to these two, which are meant to be the finishing powders. But I will just get a kick of that because it's really hard not to. Like, the thing about these palettes that I don't really understand is like why the pans are so small, because like unless you're using a teeny brush, which you typically wouldn't use like a small brush to apply blush or bronzer, it's kind of hard to get in there, but I'm still figuring this out. I'm gonna mix these two blushes in the palette together just to kind of be like a blush topper situation to give me a very radiant cheek, because my eyes are gonna be totally matte and my lips are gonna be totally matte, and when I do something like that I kind of want to keep everything else very luminous. Blushes are not like glittery or super sparkly, but they just give like a very natural, look at this, I have like a zit starting. I keep getting zits on my cheeks, I don't understand. They just give like a really pretty like luminous flush to the skin. Then I'm gonna take the actual strobing powder in there, which is kind of like their version of a highlighting powder. Use a synthetic brush to apply it. Just don't ask me why I just put that on my zit. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Catrice Prime and Fine Multitalent Fixing Spray. I've been using this a lot lately, and just lightly douse myself in it before I go change, and then I'll come back and finish everything else. I swear to God, this thing has like the most powerful spray like you've ever seen in your life. It's insanity. Woo! Be right back. So I went ahead and did my lashes because I'm trying to give my eyes like a break. This corner is really trying to start watering on me, and I've come this far. Like, I'm not throwing in the towel. For lip liner today, I'm going to use Makeup Forever number 42 and just line my kisseroo. For liquid lipstick today, I'm going to use Jeffree Star Cosmetics in Unicorn Blood. This is one of those products I was gonna wait to use on camera until I could do a dedicated video, because I just ordered a bunch of Jeffree Star Cosmetics and I was gonna use it all together in a video for a first impressions, but I wanted to use this lipstick today. I still have a lot of other Jeffree Star stuff to use, so like no worries. All that to be said, I'm just gonna apply this. This color is really pretty, but it's not the shade I'm looking for, so I'm gonna take Anastasia Beverly Hills Heathers and just deepen it a little bit. Yeah. Take this like cream colored eyeliner from Pixie. It's called the Eye Bright eyeliner, and put a good dose of this in my waterline. I find that if I do this before mascara, it will kind of help clean up if I run into a situation where the eyeliner gets on my lashes. So I'm gonna do that really quick. And then I'm gonna take my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara to pump up those bottom lashes. Alright, you guys, this is the completed look. I think this is probably one of the easiest, quickest looks I've ever busted out on YouTube before, but it's definitely a very big favorite of mine. And from the very first time I put it on, I was like, I could wear this for Thanksgiving. I cannot be the only person who starts planning out their makeup look for events, even as simple as something like Thanksgiving with your family, months in advance. I totally do that, whatever. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an absolutely wonderful day and have a beautiful Thanksgiving, whether you're celebrating with friends or family. I truly hope that it is the wonderful day that you absolutely all deserve. I will catch you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe if you are not. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms, and I will see you in the next one.